Typically, I don't explore video game mysteries that I don't consider to be true, but the Aerith resurrection rumor of Final Fantasy VII is a mystery that I've always felt compelled to look into, especially given that I've seen discoveries that eerily appeared to give some weight to the mystery, even if they were just coincidental. The long-standing rumor began shortly after the game's release nearly 25 years ago, beginning with what I hope isn't much of a surprise to anyone at this point that Aerith doesn't make it to the end of the game. Players had a hard time accepting the reality of her death, tearing apart the game for any possible clues that she could somehow be resurrected. However, the mystery really ramped up when a Squaresoft employee himself leaked that there was a way to revive Aerith through a hidden sequence of events. But Square and the developers immediately contested this statement and denied it ever since. My story begins in October of last year, when I uploaded my Strangest Areas in Games video. I covered an area in Final Fantasy VII's normally inaccessible debug room in which Aerith delivers a very strange and cryptic message to the player. As weird as that was, the day after I put up this video I received another cryptic message, this time in an email from a man named Honto Gene, who I later noticed was credited in the upcoming Final Fantasy VII remake as one of the designers of the game. Honto Gene simply sent me the word no, followed by L1R1 circle. What? Immediately I sent it to my good friend Final Fantasy VII fanatic Pillar of So. Pillar of So said that L1R1 circle was actually a command recently discovered to activate hidden animations throughout the game. One example being if you press the combo during the Ghost Square gates, a bat flies at the screen for seemingly no reason. Considering Honto may have been suggesting something yet to be found, Pillar also felt he had to explain to me that he and another data miner found a number of extended and cut pieces of dialogue in Final Fantasy VII not long ago, which they found by extracting the field dialogue from the international version of the game. Pillar explained that the dialogue had a much more offbeat sense of humor than what appeared in the final game, and that it was speculated to have been removed by Square as they probably wanted the game to have a more serious tone. Pillar explained because so much newly discovered information had been recently extracted from just one corner of the game. It definitely seemed possible to Pillar that there could still be something to be found in Final Fantasy VII, maybe even lurking in the data in Phantom files, which are files purposely mislabeled and hidden to throw off data miners. Regardless, Pillar of So searched all the scripts and all the events that he could, and we still both couldn't find anywhere in the game where the L1R1 circle combination seemed to have any significance not already found. Interestingly, a couple months later I managed to get this message from a commenter who goes by Aerith Strife herself on my video Unsolved Discoveries in Video Games, who told me of an interesting facet of the Aerith mystery that often gets overlooked. Normally when you play Final Fantasy VII you can come back to Aerith's church after her death and see a ghost appearing very quick, as a flash inside the church. However, a long time ago there was a crazy theory about reviving Aerith by giving the Earth Harp, the Desert Rose, and the guidebook to the old man in Calm. And then you go to Aerith's church in Midra. Aerith's ghost appears and remains there until you leave the place. This only happens once. Why? Another one for Final Fantasy VII weird things. Yeah, there's a lot. Again, I had to reach out to Pillar of So, and Pillar explained to me that Aerith's comment was referring to an old Final Fantasy VII rumor that was long considered fake, but was later found to actually have some truth. To talk to the old man and those things in order used to be an old myth, but it was found that Aerith will appear and remain if the player does what she suggested, with the addition of facing all 4 opponents in the 3D battler at the Gold Saucer. Then Aerith will indeed remain on screen. Well, I decided I had to check this out for myself. After collecting the Earth Harp, the Desert Rose, the guidebook, I made sure to successfully face off against all opponents in the 3D battler. Interestingly, after facing off against all 4 opponents at the 3D battler, a 5th opponent will actually appear who's untextured and will immediately kill Cloud. I'm not sure if it actually has anything to do with the required sequence, but I definitely found that interesting. After giving the old man the objects in the correct order, I finally ended up at the church in Midra, and sure enough, Aerith remained in the scene without disappearing. I decided that maybe after this inordinately long sequence of events, the Aerith character model in the scene maybe had a hidden script lurking in it for the L1R1 circle combo. Unfortunately, no, as when I put the code in, nothing happened. It seemed then I hit a dead end, when I decided to try one last precautionary step that I knew only an odd head would know to do. I pulled the controller out from the first slot, placed it in the second slot, and tried the combo. And sure enough, To my absolute disbelief, Aerith actually remained in the party for the rest of the game. Needless to say, Pillar of So and I lost our shit, but we both thought it'd be a cool idea to keep this between ourselves until the release of this video. I wouldn't exactly call this a totally canon way of reviving Aerith. I'd say it's more likely just a hidden inside joke among the developers. Still, it's incredibly amusing to find something like this hidden in a game after all this time. I must say, I feel incredibly honored to be the first one to uncover this Easter egg that more or less puts to bed a 20-year-old mystery. Thank you again to Pillar of So for their amazing help on this video, as well as my good friend T-Lady Hanner. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please subscribe. And if you have any other ideas for content that you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments down below, join the Discord, or even submit to oddheader.com. Shout out to Acryl Gamer Mexicano, Alexander Knight, Dan Duvale, Down with System D, I Fart in Elevators, Emery, J-Day, Pestilent Sleeper, King of Carrot Flower, Nick Fade, Nest Dude, Nick, Riley S, Select, Spencer, TV112 Renee, Thorson, and Towerizer for their Patreon support. Stay tuned.